Alright, today we're going to talk about or show you how to pickle northern, a great recipe for pickling northern. Absolutely incredible. I actually take the Y bones. If you watched my how to fillet a northern, to take the Y bones out of a northern. I actually take the Y bones and I cube them here, as you can see. Just cut them up into little cubes, and then I'm jarring them right at the moment, and I will be right back and show you the next piece. Alright, I have now filled the jar almost to the top with cubed Y bones from the northern. I've taken my measuring cup here. It's a canning salt. I have half a cup of canning salt, and mix that into some vinegar here, and I'm going to pour that over the northern cubes. And with that, I am going to let it sit for 5 days. So leave it sit for 5 days, and I will be back. Okay, so we're back after 5 days, and we have our, it's been sitting in the fridge in the salt and vinegar brine for 5 days, and now we are going to thoroughly rinse them. You got to really rinse these off. I just pour them in a screen, dump her in there, and it's we're gonna rinse them off really good in cold water, and we'll be back. Okay, so after rinsing very thoroughly in cold water, I'm gonna go ahead and dump them into a bowl here. The meat is really firm. The meat chunks should be very firm. And then what you're going to do, as you can see, I have, I'm going to shut the light down here. I've sliced up some onions. And then what you're going to want to do is take and layer the fish. So just put some number of fish in the jar and layer with onions. Layer some onions and then some fish. Again, it's going to be very firm, and you're going to want to really you want to make sure and really rinse these off as you're, and then layering it in onions. And I do about 3/4 of a jar to start, and then about 3/4 of a jar, and you're going to get, if you do 2 3/4 jars, you should get to start, you're going to get 2 full jars of meat after the fact, finished jars. So there you are, loading that up, and then you're going to take and pickling spice. I just have the McCormick pickling spice. Take my coffee measuring dipper there for my coffee, and put 1 scoop, and you can dump it right in the jar, but I happen to, I like to put it in a cheesecloth, and I tie it off so it's in a little ball like that. As you can see, there's 1 scooper full in there that I'll place in the jar, you can see there. And then you're going to take 2 cups of distilled white vinegar, which I have there, and you're going to take 1.25 cups of sugar and dissolve that in the vinegar. Dissolve that in the vinegar, and as soon as your jar is about 3/4 or a little better full, you are going to have yourself a started jar. That will be completed in another 5 days. So I'll be right back. Alright, there you have it. 2 completed jars of pickled northern, which I truly believe is the best pickled fish that you will ever eat in your life. It's absolutely incredible. So just to recap, to start, you're going to want to fill, well, you can fill 2 jars, or about 2, you can fill the jars about 3/4 the way full, or to start you can fill 2 complete quart jars. And you're going to want to pour 1/2 cup of canning salt and white vinegar over the top. So you can pour the salt in there and then pour the white vinegar. I always like to shake it up. And then let it sit in the refrigerator Cover them, but don't seal them. Don't completely seal them. And let that sit for 5 days in the refrigerator. And then after you take them out, you're going to want to rinse completely. You've got to rinse them really, really well in cold water. Let it drain for a while. Make sure you get all the water off it. Then take and you're going to put your, layer your meat with onions. I like to use about smaller to a medium onion per jar. And layer that with onions and meat. Layer it as you go, as you can see in the jars. Mix 1 1/4 cups of sugar in 2 cups of white vinegar and pour that over the top, which you can see you can't pack the meat in there. You might not quite get all the mixture in there, but you're going to get for the most part in there. Just don't pack it. And then also use 1 coffee measuring spoon of pickling salt. You can pour that in there just over the fish, over the whole jar. Otherwise, you can, I like to put it in a cheesecloth, tie it, and then you can take it out after the fact. Obviously, they're still in there. But and then let that sit for another 5 days in the refrigerator. And you can keep it for about as long as you want in the refrigerator. I mean, it'll stay for months. It'll stay for probably years. But when you pull the fish out after rinsing it the first time, you're going to still feel the bones. But in this sugar mixture, after the last 5 days in that sugar mixture, it turns the bones just soft and rubbery. You won't even notice it. And it's some of the best pickled fish that you'll have. And it's a great way to use your Y bones from a Northern to complete it. So thanks for watching, and watch some of the other videos, and please subscribe. Take care.